Hello, everybody, and welcome back. We're trying something new tonight. Myself and Jay's Fight Talk, just the first of a couple of short prediction videos this week. There's a couple of big fights that we want to cover off this weekend. But first off, Jay, how's things, my friend?
Not bad at all, brother. You?
Good, yeah, man, really, really good, mate. So as you can see on the screen, those that are joining us, O'Shaquie Foster is fighting Robson Conceicao for the second time in 3 or 4 months now. Very controversial first fight, Jay, not generally because of what happened during the fight, but more the three wise men ringside that, let's be honest, they got it wrong, didn't they?
Yeah, or not wise men, should we say. For me, it's definitely the worst decision of 2024. Possibly one of the, I wouldn't say I'm trying to think of worst decisions I've seen in terms of, I think if you'd have asked 100 people ringside, 100 would have said that.
I'd say the only 3 people in the arena
were the judges, yeah, and Conceicao's team. But even they looked shocked at the result, and I think, Conceicao said things differently post-fight, but in the immediate aftermath, he looked sort of half embarrassed because he wasn't even.
He's a good fighter as well, Robson Conceicao.
No, he's really good, but he just got beat by the better man on the night. In theory,
yeah, he did.
He got the result, but they've never talked about moving on. They accepted the rematch because everybody knew. I just can't believe that. I've watched it 4 times, I think, 4, maybe 5. I watched it straight after because I thought, am I missing something? Because I always watch it with the volume off because I don't want to get influenced by the commentary team or the noise from the crowd. Or I like to watch it properly, and not like I'm some kind of oracle on boxing, but I like to just watch it and then make a decision based on what I've seen. And I thought, I must have got that really wrong. Watched it again and I thought, well, no, in fact, more so the second time I thought Foster's more than won it then. So they had to do this rematch. They had to, man. It was. They took a world title off a kid that, a guy that was on the verge of big fights. I know this is a decent, type of fight, but he was on the verge of, unification fights and massive matchups. And, that was taken away from with a shitty decision, really.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, I think massive well done to all involved for running this one back so immediately, including the 2 fighters that are going to be facing each other again for the WBC Super Featherweight Championship. So I'll give it to you first, my friend. Prediction for O'Shaquie Foster versus Robson Conceicao, the rematch. Can Foster get his belt back? It seems weird to say considering he won the first fight. I don't care what anyone says. Or is there a possibility that Conceicao can win this fight clean, which not many people seem to be considering? He's been in at a good level. He's a good fighter.
I don't think he boxed well on the night, and I know O'Shaquie Foster's really awkward. He's pretty tall. He hits pretty hard as well, so it's awkward to sort of with once you're in there. But Conceicao didn't give a good account of himself on the night, so I'm expecting, even as the champion, even though he knows that he didn't necessarily deserve it, I think they always say it gives you an extra sort of 10% or whatever anyway as the champion. Now
the Teddy Atlas method.
Yeah, Teddy Atlas, I think it's a 30% or something like that. But I've sort of been flip-flopping backwards and forwards. Common sense would say to me that O'Shaquie Foster beats him, but he beats him better and puts a rubber stamp on it. The only thing for me is he's going to be chasing the stoppage, I believe, and could potentially leave himself wide open.
Yeah, I feel where you're coming from.
So I've been, and I'm going to stick with that prediction. I'm going for a Conceicao stoppage. Not through anything other than O'Shaquie Foster, not because he puts it on him, gives him a
he might fight emotionally.
I think O'Shaquie Foster's going to be trying that hard to not let it go to the scorecards. He's potentially going to leave himself wide open and get caught. So I'm going to go for Conceicao TKO sort of between rounds 8 and 10.
Interesting. You can't rule it out either, and there's a big possibility that Foster could fight emotionally, like you say. Definitely try and not leave it to the judges. Conceicao's a tough man as well. You have to remember. So you know, it might not get him out of there. And as you say, can crack a bit. Foster can as well. I only see the fight going one way personally. I think O'Shaquie Foster's going to win the fight. You know, if it goes the same pattern as the first fight did, you know, clearly he didn't do enough in the judges' eyes last time, although he did in everyone else's eyes. You know, has he got to change his tactics? Probably not, because he won the fight clearly. You'd like to think that the judges will get it right on this occasion. Shouldn't have to fight a fight differently because those judges on the night had a really off night. So I'm expecting him to win a wide enough UD, maybe a 9-3 kind of, maybe 8-4-ish kind of decision.
You'd think that'd happen, wouldn't you? You'd expect it to.
That's the logical play.
Yeah.
But again, I'm looking forward to it, mate. It's Turning Stone Resort and Casino. I don't think we've seen some fights there in a while, Verona. So
for a bit.
No, I'm looking forward to it. Top Rank promoting the card. But yes, evening DJ Pat, who's just joined us. He's sticking with Jay's fight talk. He's going Conceicao stoppages. Do you know what? You know, like you say, though, it's interesting. You do get that extra 10, 15, maybe 20%. Like, he's got the belt now. He's got that psychological edge. The pressure's on Foster. All the pressure's on Foster.
It happens in everyday life. I mean, I'll use myself as an example. I work in sales and marketing, and, you know, you can be having a crap, you know yourself, you've worked in sales. You get to, sometimes you have peaks and troughs, and you get to the point where you're pitching as good as you've always pitched. No one's closing. You're trying, nothing's closing. And then you'll get one. And I teach, so I train salespeople, and I'll always say to them, look, if you'll get one, it'll change the way you pitch and you'll get momentum.
Yeah.
You know yourself. You close a deal, don't you? You go for, you're having a shitty month, it's your last week, you close a deal, and then every single one you do after that, you're closing after closing after closing. It changes your mindset. You become more positive. And I just think that Conceicao now, as the champ, irrespective of how he got the belt, right? He's now the champ. I believe that he is going to box out of his skin. And that's the only reason that I'm picking him for the win, is because I believe that it's going to be a mixture of him boxing to the best of his abilities and O'Shaquie Foster not doing what he should do, which, look, if they both box very similar to what they did before, O'Shaquie Foster beats him on points, right? And I'm happy to say that I would believe that would happen 9 times out of 10. But you know me, I go against the grain and I look for these little anomalies. And I just think that if there's a right mix on the night and O'Shaquie Foster's just chasing it and leaves himself open, he'll get clipped. And I just can't stop thinking that something like that's going to happen.
Yeah, I see what you mean. It feels like it's going to be controversial. I'm with you. I have a gut feeling something controversial is going to happen as well. I'm really looking forward to watching on the watch along. Actually, Pat said the O'Shaquie Foster needs to win, but Conceicao can go in and do his jobs all on Foster's hands. Exactly, there's big pressure on O'Shaquie Foster.
Pressure's on O'Shaquie Foster, man. Yeah, because he's got to rubber stamp the fact that he beat him the first time. So that's what I'm saying. He's going to be trying to show this guy's not as good as me.
A bit like Jack Cattrall against Josh Taylor in the rematch, isn't it? You know, the pressure was kind of on Cattrall heading in.
But he did it right. He did it right. And if you get it right, O'Shaquie Foster will win that fight hands down. But if he gets it just ever so wrong, it could unravel quickly for him.
Yeah,
and that's, you know, I'm just going for the outside shot.
Yeah, man, definitely. It's 100% a possibility. But we'll leave it there for tonight. Thanks very much for that, Jay. Just a quick one tonight. Thanks, Pat, for tuning in. Just a little new series that we're debuting for our quick thoughts on the fights. We're going to do Liam Davis and the Chantel Cameron against Bergholt fight on back-to-back streams tomorrow night. And, of course, we'll be here at the weekend for all the live watch-alongs that we can get our hands on. So big up Jay's Fight Talk. Follow him on the socials at Jay's Fight Talk and subscribe on YouTube. And have a